Greetings guys, a warm welcome to you. Pisces, this is your reading for January 2020. So happy new year. And for those of you who are viewing it in December, this still gives you time to set your intentions for the New Year's Eve coming up just after the eclipse on the Boxing Day, the 26th of December, and prior to the next eclipse on the 10th of January. This is a powerful time to put into action what you are heading for or aiming for the next decade. That's the next 10 years, guys, when we're on the cusp of aligning with it, activating it, and bringing it into action. So there is no more powerful time than the now, the present, to give yourself a present of looking into your future on how you want it to be. It really is a powerful time of allowing these dreams and desires and passions to be instigated and to be set into action and brought into this timeline which we are currently in. The January astrology is very intense, and I'm not an astrologer, so I don't fully understand the great depth of it, but a little bit of the more important aspect, I guess, is the conjunction of Pluto, Jupiter and Saturn, which has only happened twice in the last 2,000 years. All astrologers will certainly admit or testify that this is a time of immense, grand change. And this new decade that we're embarking on, that we're moving into, is going to be one of the biggest times of change that we see on this planet. That's how important this next decade is. So I can't reiterate it enough to you. If you get the opportunity to watch this before the New Year's Eve, set some energy and attention and intentions for your direction moving forward. I did some intuitive work for you guys, and you had this mantra that turned up. You can use this whenever you feel the inclination, or you want a bit more support, or you want some more insight around things. And yours was this: I ask for what I want. I know that whatever I need will always be there for me. So that's a good, positive, firm mantra for you guys to grab hold of and to utilize. I ask for what I want. I know that whatever I need will always be there for me. I also got the feelings of the color green, the heart, and emotions and relationships. You got a number 12 coming in, which breaks down to a 3, which is the Trinity, and sometimes meaning 3 people as well. So with that, let's shuffle for Pisces. These are the John Holland Psychic Tarot deck. What is in store for Pisces for January of 2020, the brand new decade? Okay, so we've got a few jumped out here. They've all got the black borders, so we're looking at 3 major arcana cards to start off with. So a pretty powerful start for you guys, as well as a 4th one. So you have got, wow, 11, 12, 13 and 15, just like that, boom. So there's a kind of a stage here when the numbers line up so kind of specifically, and you're only missing number 14, which is the Temperance star, which is a little bit like the Balance actually, which is often what I refer to it as. If you like, 14 is very similar to this number 11, which is the Justice card. You seem to be maybe heading in a cycle of evolution and going through each step or process of the grand major arcana of life, which is the bigger learning lessons that we go through. So when the major arcana turn up in a reading, it's as if the timelines or the cosmos is delivering certain aspects of your life to you. So when the minor arcana are around, it feels as though we have more choice and control of the options and decisions and directions we are moving in. When the major arcana come in, it's as if we are being delivered something and we don't have a lot of choice about the whys, the whens and the hows. But it's important to understand the learning lessons behind each of these energies as they pulsate through our life. If we don't understand them, if we don't incorporate them, if we don't listen to them, we're then left losing the whole reason for why they happened, losing the lesson, losing the understanding. So they didn't come out in order, but I don't know if that's necessarily important or not. It does seem to me that you are being pushed into some sort of trajectory that is leading you or pushing you through this cycle of evolutionary understanding of the major arcana. So given that this reading is for January and that is the beginning of the brand new decade, I feel that the cards that are arriving are deeper than this. I feel that they are talking to you at a deeper, longer, more permanent, lasting message. So this could span for you guys, this could span many months, it could span the whole year, it could span into even further than that. Because these are big cards and they just shot out all together. Okay, if we want to look at it, we have, we could do it either way. We can do it the way they came out. It doesn't really matter. In fact, we probably will do it that way. But for some of you, you might prefer to be thinking of the transitional natural progression through 11, 12, 13 and then up to 15, with number 14 being very much like 11. But if we start off with the sacrifice card, this is the Hanged Man card, and this is often talking to us about the fact that something can sometimes be not happening as fast as we want it. So this can be a timing issue around you at this particular time. Now this could be indicating many different things. It could be that you are waiting to hear from someone about something, or a contract, or a signing of documents, or a health situation. You are waiting for this next step to emerge, but it's on hold at the moment. It could be that you need certain things to uplift the next step, which could be like waiting for documentation or passports or legal documents, the separation of something or the conglomeration of something coming together. When this happens, again, bear in mind that if the universe or the cosmos is deciding on the grand timing, then it's for a reason, and it's for the best possible reason. Our timing is very limited in perspective of reality. We run on a 24-hour day, on a 7-day week, and a 12-month year. The reality of timing is not that at all, and this one is very often talking to us about the timing discrepancies in life. Now, the other thing that the Hanged Man can mean is that you are at this crossroads in life where things are just coming in like boom, boom, boom. You're going, my God, whoa, 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 whoa. Where am I going? What's happening? What direction do I take? And sometimes this can be mighty powerful and immense. And it can come through to you through things like feeling as though your core values are being adjusted, as if things that you used to believe in or follow or trust are being altered at a very high dynamic level, higher than yourself, and you can feel it. You can feel this expansive connection, as if to say, I know things are changing. I don't know why, and I don't necessarily know how, but I'm open to it and I'm listening. So the sacrifice or the Hanged Man card is a time of great enlightenment quite often for people. It is also a time of changing direction and being at the T intersection in life. When you get to this top of the T, you can go left or right or up or down. Whichever road you pick, or journey or direction or timeline or belief system, where the sacrifice comes in is that you can only pick one. So if you go left, you can't go right, which means you are sacrificing the direction of going right. So something in your life has to give way for a direction that you take. But the good thing about it is that it means that if you've been procrastinating over something, if you have been pondering or feeling lost about making a decision, you will slowly, gently be guided into making this decision and changing a direction. For some of you, this can also mean some sort of thing going on in the head. We see this rainbow colour coming in. Some of you will receive very graphic messages. They can be very psychic, intuitive, dreamscape, synchronistic events. things along those lines. Others of you might become more psychic or clairvoyant at this time. This could be a really good time to look into avenues of your life if you are interested in the spiritual realm. And Pisces, you and Scorpio are two of the most, connected to the psychic realm and able to hear that other spiritual side of life and death and all in between. The other thing it can mean is things like a headache, neck pain, ear pain. Some of you may need a neck like a neck manipulation or around your shoulders or the top of your head. Some of you might even suffer from things like migraines and need to get that seen to. Now, if we move to this next card, 13, Transformation, I love his name for the card, Transformation, and the beautiful sort of monarch butterfly wings on the back of it that you can see there in the background. This card is traditionally, of course, known as the Death card. So when the Death card comes to us, it is very much about understanding that we are going through the metamorphosis of life and about to emerge from this cocoon that we may have been sheltering in or growing in, and with this greater, more intense understanding of who we want to be, where we want to be, and what direction we're headed in. I tend to think that the transformational Death card is usually very personal, not necessarily involving other people. So this is about your personal journey. This card, the Sacrifice or the Hanged Man, although it is very similar in terms of this greater connection to the cosmos and the understanding and the ethereal white light that can come down to us with messages and this gift of transformation, the Sacrifice card can involve other people to a much higher level. This is a very personal card about a very personal transition in your life. It can mean that something you have been doing or following or been involved in is falling by the wayside. Sometimes this can mean things like relationships. It can also mean businesses or previous jobs. So you might be transiting into this new endeavor or prospect or health period in your life. If we come to the Balance card, number 11, which is the Justice card, this card often talks about Libran energy more than a lot of the others when they turn up. I often find Librans can be associated in here, and it does talk about the need for balance. This is a karmic card, so we are on the evolutionary cusp of karmic change coming for the whole of the collective conscious, for the whole of Earth, Gaia, all her beings. It's linked into this mighty conjunction of Pluto, Jupiter and Saturn, among other transitory events taking place. But what it seems to be involving is the karmic cycle of a long period is coming to some fulfillment or finishing. So we're going to see at both the personal level within ourselves and also within the collective level, including things like establishments such as governments, politics, religions, rules and regulations, they're all going to start changing immensely. And karmic hardship that has been playing out for thousands of years is being broken. It's being freed up. A lot of the karma is being paid or has been paid back, and we're moving into this period of free choice. Some of you will be freed from karmic devices or attachments or episodes or people or relationships that have kept you in binds, if you like. And remember, I'm talking also about past life karmic ties. These are starting to thin out, to disintegrate, to allow yourself to make the choice to get to the T intersection and decide, do I go left or right or up or down, because I feel as though I have more freedom. And with this freedom comes a release of the karmic ties. And with that can for some people be a really deep flushing of trauma, abuse, family lineage DNA over many lifetimes. It can be healed, it can be released. So some of you may not find it in the physical world, but there could be something in the depth of your soul, like in the dark night of your soul, in the shadow side of life, that is released. And somewhere within your being, you will feel the release. It might be like this strange feeling as if you're not all here, as if a part of you has suddenly gone. And it might be that part of you that has been in pain or trauma or fear or depression or anxiety. Some of this may be resolved and some of it may be lifted. For others of you, this can activate in one way or another the karmic energies that have betrothed us to our certain soul tribes and our family tribes and our lifetime of systematic things that we are working through. So sometimes this can awaken it. But traditionally, when this card turns up in your reading, it bodes well in your favor, saying that something that is karmic or has been played out for a long time in like a justice system is about to be balanced out more. So usually this is a positivity for yourself, for something that's quite deep. This card can turn up in this particular timeline when it refers to things like divorces coming through, so settlements for that, and that's again why the sacrifice card might be merging with it, and also why the transformation card might well be there. Some of you might get your final documents for divorce or dissolution of a company or the sale of a property, or the ability to be free to make a new commitment to a new business or person or partnership. So there's many things along those lines. Sometimes this will turn up when we have to appear in court for various reasons, sometimes for family custody hearings, also for other legal servitudes that may have been put upon us. So a lot going on, but a lot at a very, very deep level, and it makes sense to me because of the profound energy that is coming in this January period and the two eclipses that cusp either side of it. So the latter I have gone into these readings, and the last one I did was Taurus. Taurus's reading was mind-blowingly just boom, just unbelievable, and yours has also got this great degree of intensity and authenticity within it, and a lot of messages about things that have been going on for longer than you even understand. They've been going on not just in this life. So it's a very meaningful reading, but it's a very deep and personal reading as well. When we get to this one, the temptation card, which is the devil, he can turn up when we have been in situations where there has been abuse, and this can be abuse of power with someone over us, holding our agenda or mistreating us or abusing us. Now, it can be at the physical, it can also be at the emotional or mental levels, it can be on the different plane or timeline again. And because we've talked so much about this feeling as though it runs through soul family links and through past life links, this one may also be part of it. So there may be a freeing up, as I said earlier, of something that has been negative in your life, or something that has felt negative, as if you've felt tied down to anxiety or been prone to depression or worry or fear about something in the background, or even if you have been tied into situations where you have felt there was bad luck or bad karma, or where you have felt as though someone else had a hold over you. For others of you, this could well be in the here and now, and these might be people who have been in your life who have caused negativity. And this again could be personal relationships, and it could be the close, intimate relationships for any of you who have been in abusive partnerships, or with people who have been unbalanced, whether it be physically, emotionally, mentally, or sexually, because this card often depicts an imbalance in sexual behaviours and addictions, also addictions in drugs, food, inhibitions or lack of inhibitions, and also emotional addictions. So imbalance with personalities as well. So for any of you that have this around, this could be a time where there is transformation or an ability to use something to free yourself up from this devil type energy around. And interestingly, this can be linked into the Capricorn energy as well. So if there are any Capricorns around you who have suffered an imbalance one way or another, this might be a time of transformation within the relationship that you share between them, or there might even be some transformation that takes place that enables you to break some sort of spell, if you like, or bind between the people. It might be a time where balance can be brought into the relationship, if this is with a Capricornian or a Capricorn rising or moon, and that there might be some karmic justice played out or balance divvied out to the relationship to allow for transformation and healing within the relationship as a whole as well. So it doesn't have to mean that everything in your life is going or disappearing. It can be that transformation is taking place and that it is changing for the better as you move into this new timeline and future propositions and opportunities. So you can see how in depth that was. I'm still tempted to just pull maybe another one here, if we can see. Is there anything more that Pisces needs to know from this? And 2 came out. 2 3s, so you've got a little bit of the numbering system going on. And if you remember, I said to you that you had the number 12 and the 3, which is Trinity. I don't know if I said the rest of the message, but I also said queried people, and sometimes we can have a ring of 3 people involved, and sometimes when there's 3 people it can go either really well or there can be some heartache and loss. These 2 are almost the complete opposite of a situation that could be at hand. So this one is about recognition and reward and understanding the knowledge you have learned and attained in life, and it can be pertaining to your career. Sometimes this is a reward about accomplishment, so it can be getting certificates or finishing diplomas or degrees, or getting a pay rise in life, or a new job offer, or a promotion within a company. Sometimes this means public notification or notoriety, and it being made public, your exemplary knowledge or projects or attitude or work that you have put out. So it's a great card to receive, and it's one of due diligence and being acknowledged for hard work and recognition and reward for that. This one and it can be working with a team of 3 people. This one can be working with a team of 3 people in the other realm of life. And it can be that there is sadness involved within a relationship, and sometimes 3 people are involved. Sometimes it's a close personal relationship, and this type of behavior or attitudes may have been going on, just out of balance, lack of balance, which has created a sadness and a feeling of disappointment, and sometimes the need to move away from what was going on. Often when this card comes out, it does indicate the separation of a relationship because it no longer stands up to the moral aptitudes of your directions or passions in life. This can happen when there has been a fear going on, an affair in the background, and you find out and decide it's time to let go. Sometimes the other person comes to you and says, "I'm sorry, I'm moving on." It is very much a swords card, so this is about communication. It can be talked over and there can be resolution sometimes, but it takes someone else often to come in and mediate to try and help sort things through. So it is a temporary situation. It either is temporary in terms of you and the other people resolving it to heal it, or it's temporary in as much that it moves on out of your life and you go to the next step, the new step of transformation, and you find new beginnings with new people and directions and ideas. So in fact, I talked about the number 12, and you saying you had the number 12, which came in, and then you had the 2 3s as well. So there is some sort of numerology going on in here with this connection. Okay, let's have a quick look at these cards for you. Is there anything in here for Pisces that you would like them to look at or understand? For Pisces, for January, for 2020. Well, these two fell off the bottom, so we'll have a look at them. Yeah, wow, time to go. You know, we've talked about that a lot with you guys in here, the transformation, the moving on, the sacrifice, which is at the crossroads. You're getting a lot of something that you're leaving behind, and it really is time. It's just a soul's evolution. It's part of a new journey. It's part of your growth, and it's part of bringing balance into direction, choices, situations, relationships. It could, for some of you, be a health increase in dropping off negatives, because the temptation card, the devil card, can also very much represent ourselves, like an unhealthy, out of balance attitude about people in our lives or situations. We may ourselves be having some addiction, and addiction can be drugs, food, alcohol, temptations, relationships, shopping, you know, diet problems like bulimia or anorexia, obesity. All of these things can be linked into the temptation or the devil card, and bringing balance in somehow and letting something go is how all of these things can be served at a more positive vibrational frequency, and bringing change and light and lifting one's self up to enable them moving on. So what was this other card that came in? See only the love. And again, I see another heart, a red heart. So we've had 2 hearts show up in here, and they've both been red, and they're kind of both being held within the cusp of a hand. So there's a couple of ways to look at this. If it is time to let something go and your heart is sad, they're asking you to look at the love that you may have once had within the situation and focus on that to help bring about a more positive transition and to help lessen the feeling of pain or sorrow. This can also be a physical heart issue, and for some of you there is something about a heart around you, whether it's your own heart or someone's heart you hold in your hand, and someone may need an extra bolstering or care, and this could be physical care or emotional. So there's something about the heart that you also need to take into consideration for this January period. And for some of you, as I say, it might be physical health. Have a heart health checkup, or the person or people in your lives that you feel may need heart remedial work. Make sure that hearts are being looked after both physically and emotionally and at the spiritual level. It truly is the most important part of our body, and in many ways it links into the soul and the mind and the emotions obviously as well, because that's kind of where the emotions are held, in the heart. So with that in mind, we will move on to the final card, which everyone has been getting, and these are beautiful cards. They are the Crystal Mandala Oracle deck by Alana Fairchild. They're very, very intense, and they're very deep in meaning, and I think for some people it can take a little bit of working into. I have found that for everyone else's reading, these have been truly profound and well worth taking the time to just let the information sink in. And more often than not, they're going to be active and potent for far more than 1 month of the year. So 2 have come out, but I'm more inclined to only take 1. So we will just go like this until I'm ready to take 1. I'm still not, so we just... Oh, since we talked about the number 3, I will move them 3 times, and then the one on the top will be the one we pick. So 1, 2, 3. So it's this one here. Ascended Master Merlin and Mystic Merlinite, read the energy. Okay, and we've done a lot of reading the energy in these cards, and as it so happens, I do have a beautiful piece of merlinite, which I will get here, and it's a stone that I've always loved, and I like working with the merlinite. So what I'm going to do is bring this in much closer for you, and I'm going to read from the book, and your number is 34, which breaks down to a 7, which is a very spiritual number in real terms. You also have the crystal master numbers at the bottom of 333, so you've got the threes back again and another 3 of the threes. So you're not dissimilar to Taurus, who had a lot of 8s. They had 9 8s in their reading, which is pretty profound. You also have got a lot of this energy of the number 3 coming in, the Trinity number and the Triad number. So just let me find this in the book. Ascended Master Merlin and Mystic Merlinite read the energy. We bring you the blessing of reading the energy. We affirm that you have the ability to read energy accurately, and we encourage you to apply your gifts. You don't have to be in control of the inflow of divine information. When a message or insight comes to you naturally, this is best. Simply being open and receptive as you intend to read the energy of the person, place, or situation at hand is enough. Whether you have been reading energetically for years or are just beginning your journey in interpreting energetic information, we are here to assist you in becoming confident and trusting in your perceptive abilities. And we talked about that a little bit before, Pisces, that you are particularly perceptive, and you guys do have the ability to really connect with the innate spiritual perspective of life, and this card is just giving confirmation of that as well. This oracle comes to you with a message that your perceptive abilities are a key part of your life purpose and divine life's work. Developing, relying upon, or honouring what you sense energetically is helpful for your life journey, as it assists you in making good choices, and is helpful for others who can benefit from your ability to see what they may not as yet be able to consciously recognize. When you share your perception from a place of unconditional love, non-judgment, and genuine compassion, your reflections can help others gain awareness and insight, which they can then use to empower themselves, overcome fear, and move more wholly into love. This is of benefit to all. When this oracle comes to you, it is being suggested that you learn to read between the lines. This means listening for the truth behind the words that others use. It means to look for the truth in actions. It also means to be open to what you feel or sense or somehow just know, even if it doesn't seem to match appearances. Actually, perhaps especially then. If you want more information about a situation, person, or decision that you need to make to know the best way to go when faced with various options, then this oracle brings you guidance. The oracle says that the information you need is right before you in the energetic field. Trust yourself. Tune in. You can find out what you need by reading the energy. Although you may feel you want a conclusive answer to a larger issue, all you really need to know is what to do next. By tuning into your feelings and trusting, you can sense the next step that feels best for you. As you continue to work in that way, tuning into what feels best, taking a step, then tuning in again, proceeding one step at a time in trust, you don't need a blinding vision of truth to proceed. You are already proceeding. In this way, you allow yourself to be guided by the energy. Even in a situation that seems confusing, you can move one step at a time towards resolution. You don't have to see how each step is going to add up in that final resolution. You just need to take each step. To do this, ask yourself what your choices are at this moment. Remember that sometimes a choice is to wait until you feel inwardly moved and inspired to act. Then you ask yourself how each choice feels. Go through your options one at a time. What feels good? What feels fearful? What feels like it gives rise to anxiety? What feels like it has pull to it? What is drawing your energy forward and what would diminish your energy, putting you down? Plants don't need logical understanding to be able to reach for the light. It's an instinct. You have the same natural instinct to be attracted to the light, to what will nurture and nourish you, to the best choices for you. When intellectual reasoning and logic is not giving you the certainty you need, you can tap into the instinctive intuition within you and source wisdom instead. This is what you can access when you read the energy. You are also being asked to apply this talent for reading energy to yourself to learn how to more skillfully meet your needs. The more you are able to care for yourself, the more Spirit can ask of you, the more you can give, and the more you can receive. To step up on your life journey requires that you go deeper into mastery of self-care. This may require more attention for you than others may need. The spiritual journey brings much joy but asks a lot of body, mind and soul to grow and transform. Those of you who have grown a lot on your path already will know that evolution can be very demanding. As you tap into the complexity and wonder of your being, you'll notice you have many and varied needs. For rest, for light, for time to hibernate in solitude, for sleep, for staying out late and socializing, for fun and lightness of spirit, and for depth and meaning. You need an outlet for your creative energy, for your mental energy, for your physical energy and your spiritual energy. If one of those energetic flows feels blocked, you won't feel good. As you learn to get to know your own needs and what suits you, you will be increasing your ability to read your own energy in a refined way, as well as learning how to better heal and restore yourself on a regular basis. This empowers you to be a more attentive friend, partner, healer, manager, parent, guide, and so on, as well as a better caretaker of you. So there we are, Pisces, a lot of information in there for you guys on your own journey of evolution, transformation, balance, reward, and all of the cards that we had in the very beginning, all coming back again, what to follow, see only the love, the recognition and reward you will get for it, all of the things, moving on, what not to lift up, what to let go of. So plenty of activity and thinking and sort of like a homework actually reading for you guys with the Merlinite stone at the very end, giving you this advice on how to transform your own life in your own way and time as you feel ready. So thank you again for tuning in, everyone. Thank you for subbing and for liking the channel. Hit that notification button so that you receive all of the uploads when they come. And I really do cherish the ability to give you these readings. It means a lot, and I do it from the pure heart of giving. So wishing you all a fantastic festive season, a Merry Christmas, and most importantly of all, a brilliant and powerful ebbing into the new decade on the New Year's Eve period. Much love, everyone. Namaste.